Is it visible?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Okay, so hi everyone. So me and Madhul are part of a team, and we were able to solve this question. And we had already explained part of our solution last time, so I won't go into much detail of that. But I think I should much more focus on what we ended up doing after this. So just an overview that we ended up creating a MySQL database and implementing a student uh, data model, and we made 3 reports based on the data that you get usually from that. uh, so to and we had last time not used a different script. We had shown German and French and English, but they are the same character sets, so that was the problem, uh, that we had to implement different character sets. So how did we solve this was, instead of the problem was that to use and print Devanagari in, we whatever solutions we could find mostly online, they were all with proprietary libraries where you required a subscription or something, and that was not allowed. I mean, it was also even very ugly because it has a whole watermark on top of it. So then we started thinking what else to do, and as Sir was pointing out last time, and Madhul picked it up, that you should maybe put it in some kind of other form and then turn it into the PDF. So that was the idea, to have an intermediate in between and try to convert that into PDF. So we decided to go with one approach, and we made 2 different implementations of it. We decided that our data is going to be presented using HTML, and then we would use the HTML to then render it and then convert it using an intermediate program to PDF. So this technique kind of works. We found 2 ways of doing this, and the first way is by rendering the HTML and saving the output as an image, and then loading that image into the PDF. Uh, this is a very simple approach, and although we don't like this approach as much, because the out of what we could find was to render the image, sorry, to render the HTML into an image. Again, we had to use a library called Aspos, so that also resulted us having this one watermark over here, but the output is there. The second way that we decided to go for was to render the HTML using a web browser. I mean, that's the best way of rendering an HTML, right? And it works pretty well. And given that web browsers are freely available, and Chromium is an open source version of Chrome, we made use of that, and we made a system call to Chrome to save whatever the render is as a PDF. And this works in a very easy way. It's a very simple approach, but the results are pretty good. So I can show it to you as a demo. Uh, I can.
Safi, just a second, please. Actually, Rajendra sir is joining as of now. He just called up. So can you just wait for 2 minutes? He'll also be joining. Then you can continue, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Hello. Good evening, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So can we start now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Sorry for the delay, everyone. Safir, can you start? Raj.
Should I like repeat the whole thing or
Yeah, I guess Rajendra sir just joined. So can you just start from the beginning? Sorry for that.
okay, no problem. Uh, yeah, so me and Madhul are part of the same team, and we were trying to solve this problem of printing a PDF. And we already had a discussion last time, right? So our overall approach was quite clear last time, but I'll just go through it again. We started by creating a data model for a student system so that we can create reports of that. And we implemented a MySQL database and filled it with dummy data so we can use that in the Java program to create reports.
Okay.
And we had ended up making reports uh, in the Latin script only with German and English words, but that was not what was required, right? So uh, what was required was a different type, like Devanagari or something. So and last time, while we were discussing, Sir had pointed out that we should have like he had given many hints. Madhul was listening very carefully, so he picked up one that you should maybe convert it into a different format and then do it. So we decided to go with that approach where we, uh, instead of directly using a proprietary library to create PDF in Java, we first presented the data that we're getting in a form of a report using HTML, and using the HTML to be converted using an intermediate program to the PDF. So we are entering the HTML and then we are getting that saved as a PDF. That approach works pretty well, and it's very simple and easy to implement also. We have implemented it in two different ways, wherein the overall approach is the same, but the intermediate program or the intermediate approach is different. So the first way of doing was to use image, wherein we are saving the HTML render as an image, and in the PDF we are adding the images. Uh, this works out pretty well, uh, but the issue with this was to render and save an HTML as an image. Uh, we still had to use a library called Aspos, and that still ended up having us a watermark, which is not something we think was allowed. Uh, the second approach, uh, which is what we prefer, is to use a browser to render the HTML. And because browsers are free and Chromium is open source available, uh, we have to just make one system call and it does it for you. So we make use of Chrome headless. Uh, that is a like it is a command that we can call from Java itself, that we can have the HTML render to be saved as a PDF, and that is the approach that we have done. We have implemented both the approaches, but this is a much more favorable approach. So this is a result of using Chrome, and this is the result of the same document using image. So another disadvantage of this is because you cannot even select anything over here, but here you can do that. I can show it to you in a different language. We have implemented this in Hindi and in Telugu. So I'll show you how the report changes, the output changes with the change in language. So I'm using Spring Boot to expose the REST API. I'm calling the functions from the browser itself, but it is all implemented and it can be packaged into a jar actually, or a separate libraries function. So if I refresh this now, it shows it up in in Telugu, yeah. And even the other report, yeah, that doesn't seem to work. Let's try a different language. Yeah, I can just change it to English or Hindi or Telugu. And for managing the uh, strings, because we were allowed to hard code it, we made use of Java inheritance, and we implemented the same strings in different languages using different classes, and then we're just passing the class to display the data wherever we want. So in the gist, this is what we're doing. We are using Java code to create HTML, and we are passing that to the programs to print it as a PDF. We have made two more types of reports.
So, Akshit, just wanted to understand, right? So, you are trying to create HTML on the server side itself, and then
Yeah,
you are converting it to PDF on the server side, and then you are rendering that PDF. Is that what? Are there?
right. In the server side itself, what we are doing is we are because ultimately we want the format to be there for the report. So on the
Right.
server side, we are we wrote functions to create HTML,
Mhm.
create tables such that we are able to pass in an array list and get this thing as an output. And we felt, because even we are using iText, uh, the problem with iText was that until iText 5, it doesn't really support. It was not supporting Hindi, and iText 7 was supporting Hindi. But the functions of iText were doing the same thing as what HTML does, right? So if we have this kind of a solution, then why not?
Right. So, what library you are using to convert HTML to PDF?
Um, for the image method, we are using Aspos, and for the browser method, we are using Chrome headless.
But can you show me how it works?
Yeah, Chrome headless is like open sourcely available. It's a program, so I'm calling that through the runtime. If I run that in the command prompt also, it will work to convert the HTML to PDF. Like if I just copy the command line, and that will also do. I have to pass in the HTML string, like the HTML file, and it save it out as the output.
So you are generating the HTML string on server side. You are saving
Right.
it, and then you are converting it. Are you saving it to file or on the fly? You are just like
In this case, we are
kind of
saving it to file, but we can directly pass the string also.
okay. So it's just kind of pipe, right? I mean,
We can use pipe to do that, but we are not doing pipe. We just saved it to file and then we transferred that.
okay, yeah, right now, okay, that's okay.
So that's about it, I think.
Uh, Sir, any questions for them?
Like, this is a different type of report that we have. It uploads it like right there.
Uh, Rajendra, sir, any questions for them? Hello? Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Ravi, sir, any questions for them? Rajendra, sir?
Yeah, does this the Hindi report, which contains all types of characters and numbers, right? even if the word is having joined letters, right?
What we have done for this, we hard coded the strings, right? So it like the way we coded it, it presents it just the same way.
Right.
Okay.
So, one minute, Akshi. Sorry, Shafir. So basically, what Chrome library you said? Chrome handlers?
Yeah, Chrome headless.
Can you spell it for me, please?
Headless Chrome headless. It's not exactly library. It uses the browser to print it as PDF, but
Uh,
without calling the browser as such. Like it's the program. It's calling system call.
okay. Okay. Means so there is a program, right? You can use, right? Chrome
Yeah.
headless.
Do you mean that it is without heading, or it is just headless? What do you mean headless?
Got it. Got it.
Headless as in it's not. It's just using the browser for this particular service and not opening, calling the
Okay,
main.
okay,
So it's not actually full fledged instance. It's just part of.
okay.
Okay. Good. So you upload your code, okay, to GitHub, okay,
Yeah,
and
sure.
then share it with us, okay. Let's make it a private repo, okay. Ravi, work with Subhash and Vikas to review this code, and then whatever, right? We have to come up with three based on three.
Okay, okay, fine. We'll do that.
Tanmay, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Tanmay, so just get this code, right? Make sure, right? Once you have it, right? Get it
Yeah.
reviewed from Vikas and Subhash, okay?
Okay.
Right. I mean,
Right.
we did Shafir. Any other guys there?
Um, yes, sir. This
Ultimately, we have just tweaked it, right? We use a browser to do it, right? So browser has to have that character set and all that, right? You have to make sure that all the character set is there with the browser, fonts and all, right?
Yeah, that is the thing. If it is there in your system, actually, then it is allowed in your browser as well. So uh, this is pretty much like how chain of command works in Unix, right? It
Yeah,
felt like that.
got it. It's not as in Java, but I mean we are used. Okay. Anyways, so ultimately, I mean, as of now, it's okay as per like your experience. That's okay. Good.
Safi, just one question. Does this work this with joint characters as well?
Uh, Joint characters, as in I
Like
Compound
if you
character.
use
Compound
any Indian
character.
language?
like as long as you can represent that in Unicode, I think it will work with that also.
Okay.
Yeah. For example, yeah, it is compound, right? Report RT is compound, right? Chhatra is compound. Pariksha is not. So, uh,
Rict, you can check with the rict word or Vayaktik word.
okay, let me try. Okay.
Google input. Shabda. Shabda.
Can you try this Shabda? Can you hard code that the compound word? I mean,
Yeah, let me do that. I'll this, right? I'll add.
Yeah, Shabdakosh, कोई भी, I mean, anything you can add.
I'll put that in place of Naam. So yeah, it does work for that. Shabda.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, see, we'll evaluate whether it can be used in production environment, but whatever you have done, it's good job. The only
Okay, sir.
small
Yeah.
issue we have is we have to have a Chrome as dependency, right? I mean,
Yeah, it is kind of system dependent, but then
that's okay, but it's not an issue. Okay, good job, good job. Yeah, just put it in your code in the repo. Okay, instructions run it, right?
yes, sir.
Tanmay, get it reviewed today itself, right? I should have result by tomorrow. Okay? Tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, can we go to the second team now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay.
Thanks, Shafir and Madhul. Good job, guys.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So the second team we have is Hridesh and Arnav. Guys, Hridesh, Arnav, who will be presenting? Can you guys go ahead?
Oh yeah, I'll be taking care of it.
Okay.
Give me a minute. Sorry for the delay. Give me a minute. Okay. Oh, damn it. Arnav,
Yeah, tell me.
yeah, could you share the screen, man?
Yeah,
It's
sure.
showing some problem for me.
Let me know if it's visible.
Yup. Thanks, mate. Looks. Yep. Hi, I'm Hridesh, and this is our pitch for the hackathon. Arnav, could you go to the next slide? Yeah. So Arnav Kohli is a final year in our college. He's worked on the back end. I'm Hridesh Bish. I'm a junior. I'm in my junior year. I worked on the front end. So the introduction to the problem. Arnav, could you go to the slide 4, please? Yeah, thank you. So the problem statement was a report generator. Develop an application to generate PDF documents, and it was basically used for translating language to another language, specifically Devanagari languages into English text and vice versa. Arnav, could you go to the next slide, please?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what we did. This is what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to create a simple application for the user so that the user could translate the documents from one language to another, from Devanagari to English or English to Devanagari. The separate documents include PDF, docs file, ODF, PPT, PPTX, PS, RTF, TXT, XLS, and XLSX. Methods will be covered by Arnav. Arnav, could you give them a demo? Or
Yes.
would you like
Let
to
me just,
listen to the methods
Let me
first?
just go through the methods. So basically, we have a web application up which takes the user input. The user input would be the file, and after that, we basically ask the user to input the languages. So what should be the input languages and the output languages in which you want the PDF to be translated to. For the UI, we're just basically using basic HTML, CSS. For translating the PDF document, we're using the open source. It's not open source, it's a free service by Google, and we're just using their service to translate the documents. The documents which we, or the response which we receive from Google is a HTML response, so we need to convert that into PDF. For that also, we're using another service, which basically converts HTML code into PDF. Let me just show you a demo. So here's the website which we have. So here we can basically choose which languages we want it to be converted into. I'll just upload a sample PDF. So this is purely English. I want to convert English to say Gujarati, and I'll just translate. So we'll just give it a few seconds, and it should automatically download the PDF to your local system. So yeah, it basically translated the English PDF or English document into a Gujarati document. And we're using free services, so there'll be watermarks as such. But other than that, the data or the translations are pretty accurate, and we tested it with the documents which you had sourced as well. So I could show you another one. This is one which is provided by you guys. Right, so English, we could go to Hindi. I just uploaded, sorry. Just a second.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry, I just got disconnected. You started with the next group or what?
Yes, we did. We are actually in the middle of that. Do you want? I can restart.
Yeah, I got okay. So the previous group, Kohli and Rudesh Bisht, right?
Yeah.
So that's only going on.
That's us.
That's us. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Right. So yeah, we basically converted that English document into Hindi. There are some discrepancies here, but then again, we're using free services. So yeah, that's about it.
Now, okay. So can you go back to this current report just? So yeah, that's what I was expected. I mean, the previous what you have shown was like translation. We are not into translation. We want to generate a PDF with like different character set.
I'm sorry.
We want to like display report with different character sets, right? I mean, right now you are showing right English and Devanagari.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
So the report which you are showing now, right?
Right.
So this is what is expected.
This is the expected result. That's right. So the input document was the one which you had supplied us, the assistant one, and that's what we basically translated. This one.
What are the input document?
This one. So this is in Hindi. So we basically take Gujarati and then we can translate it. So we basically tried and tested this with a lot of documents. We converted the English to Hindi, Hindi to Punjabi, Punjabi to Gujarati, and it seems to be working fine.
Yeah, but we did not want it to translate actually. So we wanted to create a PDF.
Yeah, the PDF. This is the PDF which we're talking about. I mean, it gets downloaded in your local system. If
Yeah.
that's what we're referring to.
Can I have multiple? Okay, English is there right now. Okay. English.
Sir, we are translating and we are downloading the PDF as well.
Yeah.
So your problem statement is being met. We are generating a PDF, which is translating. So it is
I mean,
problem statement is being met.
what I was trying to like see, basically, we don't want to translate. What we want to do, we want to generate a PDF wherein we have multiple character set. So we don't want to convert from English to Gujarati. We want to have English and Gujarati on the same report.
I'm sorry, we might have not gotten correctly from the problem statement, but what we inferred was basically you wanted a PDF translator tool. So you basically supply the document and it translates it to you in the specified language.
PDF generation, I mean, it was clear. And yesterday also, I mean, we explained it clearly, right? Anyways, I mean, yeah, you put a lot of effort, right? So that's okay. So Tanmay, you have any question?
Yes, as sir said, like we didn't want the translation. We just wanted a PDF with multiple languages.
PDF with multiple languages. Okay, so you wanted a PDF to support that? Is that what you're saying?
So we wanted to generate a PDF report which has Hindi and English on the same page.
That file will contain those languages, multiple languages.
Okay, then where's the use of translation here? Like, because the word translation was used in the problem statement, so we inferred that we basically had to translate the document.
No. Translation was not that what we meant. It is
We
just
said-
just to generate.
It was PDF generation tool wherein we have multiple languages. Yesterday also, I mean, like when we see the demo from Safir and Madhul, right? We clearly explained, I think. That's the reason we are asking, like, do you have any questions? Okay. Anyways, so yeah, otherwise PDF generation is like not that big deal, right? It's just you want to have and translation is also, I mean, it's not an issue.
Yeah, we didn't really get the problem statement correctly, I guess, because on the first day of the hackathon
Seminar.
Can you go back to the problem statement, please?
Yeah, 1 second.
Can I read it for me?
Develop an application to generate PDF documents, which has to be processed by another module for some security features. The document should have more than one language statement. I see. Yeah, we might have missed that.
Anyways, it never said it to translate, right?
Sorry?
It never said translation, right? So, anyways, I mean, you put the only thing I'm feeling bad is like you put so many efforts, right? But
No, I believe you guys mentioned the word translation during the hackathon presentation, so that's why it stuck with me. So that's why we just kind of worked on a translation too. But yeah, our bad. So sorry about this.
No, you don't have. Just share whatever you have done, right?
So I mean, we could share a GitHub repository if you want that.
Yeah, please. Okay, good. Thank you. Next.
Okay, so next we have Shaunak from second year, I guess. So Shaunak,
Yes. Yeah,
please
I'll
go
share my
ahead.
screen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, is my screen visible to you? Hello?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so hello everyone, I'm Shaunak Inandar. I'm a second year CS student, and there's no solution for the multilingual PDF generating problem statement. So the basic problem statement was to generate multilingual PDFs in order to implement the I-18 internationalization of documents that is mandated by all corporations right now. And the hurdle was to use the Devanagari script in the font of the PDF. Now, the problem with this thing is you cannot legally embed proprietary fonts or a script with the Windows software or Microsoft Office, for example, in PDFs using any tool. Even Adobe PDF generator cannot let you legally embed fonts that you have done that are proprietary. Right. So my solution for this was to use open source fonts, especially those provided by Google Noto fonts. Google Noto fonts are right here. So these fonts are basically open source and they're developed. They're continuously they're working on them continuously and they're updating them continuously. And the usage is pretty easy. So, for example, if I want to generate Hindi or pretty much if I want to generate Devanagari scripts, any language that uses the Devanagari script, I only have to import this font family and implement it inside a PDF table. That is basically what I've done here. I've used the iText PDF library in Java, and I'm personally pretty new to databases. That is why I've chosen not to implement this in this particular example, because I wanted this to completely focus on the main problem, that was the generation of multilingual PDFs. So I've hard-coded these things inside, and let me run this for you. So if you see the terminal here, it specifically provides that it has detected a different font. However, it cannot determine that it is illegal because it's an open source font provided by Google. So it is legal as it is open source. So I can use it. And you can see here, I have printed a Marathi text that can also be a paragraph. It's inside a paragraph division in the PDF table. And I've inserted a PDF table with headings in Marathi and data in English. All of this is hard-coded, by the way, because like I said, I'm new to databases, but the main problem to solve was the multilingual generation.
Right. The problem here is about the compound.
Compound words. So yeah, that's what. So if you see the word Kramang, it is a Marathi word, and it is generated properly. And I can give you more examples. For example, if you can suggest a Marathi word for me to translate, because Marathi has a lot of compound words.
Shabda. You can take Shabda.
Yes. Let me just. So this Shabda that is provided by Google. Here, I'm going to copy it and I'm going to replace this with this statement that says, "Hey, udharan aaye." I'm going to save that and I'll run it again. I think I'll need to. So you see here it is working. Shabda. It shows half B and the half B and the. So it shows that B is connected to the here. That is basically my approach to this solution. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay.
Here's my code. It's a pretty simple solution because I wanted it to be focused on generating multilingual solutions. It can be implemented using any of the front end and back end for that matter.
Right.
Okay, that word is not, but it's not displaying properly. It should be connected, right?
So yeah, if I'm not able to, if you see here properly inside Google Translate, it shows sure, b and b is half and joined to the. However, this because any font that is printed at PDFs are like to generate those kind of fonts, like what you're saying. I understand what you're saying is this b should be joined to the because it's like half b and the. So to that, this is to implement that particular minute detail, I decided to pursue the Graphics Studio library. I think I deleted that code because it was not working properly. But the Graphics Studio library, what it does was it took individual bytes and attached them. However, that turned out to be even worse because it's actually saving bitmap images and adding them to the PDF as words and then printing them on, embedding them in the PDF using the UTF code. And because it's using UTF, even here, I believe the fonts use UTF only, which is why they are not able to completely join words unless they're using photos or like for all practical purposes, images of the words and embedding in PDFs.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm
this
good.
is my solution.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks, Shanak. Yeah. Any
Should I
questions
stop
from
sharing my
my?
screen?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you. Next.
So those are the only three solutions we have as of now. From all of the people actually decided to back out after seeing the problem statement. So as they were
Who is your partner?
I think Shaunak is an individual participant in this.
Yes, I'm an individual. I had a partner, but the partner backed out because of some medical reasons. That is why I had to do all of this individually.
Okay, that's it. So, Akshay,
Yes, sir.
yeah, do one thing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Share their like try to put that code in repo and share it with us, right?
Okay.
Like how to run it and all the instructions, right? So that
Okay.
you guys can review code here, right? And then we'll get back to you by tomorrow afternoon. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Can you all just put up your GitHub repo links on the WhatsApp group that we already have? I'll pick it up from there only. Everyone. Pradesh, Shaunak.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Shakir,
Thank you so much, sir.
Hello.
thank you so much.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I've shared the website link on the chat. You guys want the GitHub repository as well, or the website is
Yeah.
working completely
Yeah.
fine?
Yeah. Just put up the GitHub link as well. I'll provide both of them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raman, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tanma, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.